Some slot machines are built to pay, others are built to take. And the difference between them is hidden in plain sight. I spent 11 years as a casino floor supervisor at properties in Nevada and New Jersey. My job was to track machine performance, analyze payout data, and optimize floor placement for maximum casino profit. I knew which machines were running hot, which were running cold, and more importantly, I knew how to spot the visual clues that separated the winners from the losers. Every day, I watched players sit down at terrible machines right next to excellent ones, completely unaware of the difference. Same game name, same graphics, same sounds, but completely different mathematics under the hood. And they had no idea. You've always suspected there's a method to identify better machines. That casinos hide their best-paying slots in strategic locations. That some versions of the same game pay more than others. You're absolutely right. And today, I'm revealing exactly how to spot them. Before we dive in, I need you to do 3 things. First, hit that like button right now. Second, subscribe and turn on notifications because this information could save you thousands. Third, comment below with your favorite slot machine. Buffalo? Lightning Link? Wheel of Fortune? I want to know what you're playing. These 9 secrets are visual indicators you can observe before you put a single dollar into a machine. No guessing, no hoping. Just observable patterns that separate smart players from everyone else. Let's start with the most important secret casinos never advertise. Secret number 1. 2 machines with the exact same name can have completely different payout percentages, and you'd never know it by looking at them. Let me explain how this works, because this is the foundation of everything else. RTP stands for Return to Player. It's the percentage of all money wagered that a machine is programmed to pay back over its lifetime. A machine set at 94% RTP will return $94 for every $100 played through it over millions of spins. The other $6 is the house edge, the casino's profit. Here's what most players never realize. Slot manufacturers build multiple versions of every popular game. They'll create a 90% version, a 92% version, a 94% version, and a 96% version of the exact same game. Same graphics, same sounds, same bonus features, completely different mathematics. Then the casino gets to choose which version to install on their floor based on their business strategy. High-traffic areas near the entrance? Often the tighter 90% version. Quieter sections near the high-limit room? Sometimes the looser 96% version. As a supervisor, I saw this constantly. A player would rave about hitting big on a Buffalo machine in one section of the casino, then sit down at another Buffalo machine 50 feet away and get absolutely destroyed. They'd blame bad luck. I knew they were playing 2 different versions of the same game. The problem is, casinos don't label machines with their RTP. There's no sticker that says, "This Buffalo pays 92%," and "That Buffalo pays 96%. You have to learn to read the clues. Let me tell you about a regular player I'll call Tom. Tom loved Dragon Link. He'd play for hours every Friday night. One evening, Tom was playing his usual Dragon Link machine near the bar and won $1,800. He was ecstatic. The next Friday, his usual machine was occupied, so he sat at a different Dragon Link 30 feet away. Over the next 3 hours, Tom deposited $2,200 into that machine and never triggered a single major bonus. Same game, same bet amount, completely different experience. Tom thought he was having bad luck. What he didn't know was that his usual machine was a 94% version and the second machine was a 90% version. 4% doesn't sound like much, but over hundreds of spins, it's the difference between a fun session and financial devastation. Here's the challenge. Casinos won't tell you which version you're playing, but there are observable patterns. Machines in premium locations with maximum visibility are often tighter. Machines in secondary locations where the casino needs to attract play are often looser. Pay attention to location, and you'll start to see the pattern. Secret number 2. Higher denominations almost always have better RTP. And this is mathematical fact, not casino generosity. Here's the rule that holds true about 90% of the time. The higher the denomination, the higher the payback percentage. Penny slots, 85% to 88% RTP on average. Nickel slots, 88% to 90%. Quarter slots, 92% to 94%. Dollar slots, 94% to 96%. $5 slots and higher, 96% to 98% or better. Why does this pattern exist? Because the casino makes more profit per spin on higher denominations, so they can afford to return more to players and still maximize revenue per square foot of casino space. A penny slot might require 1,000 spins to generate $50 in casino profit. A dollar slot generates that same $50 in 50 spins. The casino wins either way, but the dollar player gets dramatically better mathematics. Let me show you what this means in real money. You have $200 to play with. On a penny slot at 87% RTP, you're losing approximately $13 for every $100 cycled through the machine. On a dollar slot at 95% RTP, you're losing approximately $5 for every $100 cycled. That's less than half the loss rate. Over a 2-hour session, the difference is $50 to $75 in your pocket versus the casino's pocket. But here's the critical caveat. You need the bankroll to support higher denominations. If you only have $50 and you sit at a $5 machine betting $10 per spin, you get 5 spins. That's not a session. That's a coin flip. You need at least 100 to 200 spins to give the mathematics time to work in your favor. For most players, the sweet spot is quarters to dollars. If you have $100, play 50-cent to $1 bets. If you have $200, play $1 to $2 bets. You get better RTP than penny players, and you still have enough spins to potentially trigger bonuses without busting in 10 minutes. Secret number 3. Machine placement is psychological warfare, and nothing on the casino floor is random. This was a massive part of my job as supervisor. We spent hours in meetings analyzing heat maps, player traffic patterns, and strategic machine placement. The old myth that casinos put their loosest slots near entrances to attract players with sounds of winning? That was true in the 1980s. It's completely reversed now. Modern casinos place their tightest machines in high-traffic convenience locations, near entrances, exits, cashier cages, bathrooms, and main walkways. Why? Because people will play them regardless of payout percentage. You're waiting for your friend. You're killing time before dinner. You're cashing out, and figure you'll play one more spin on the way out. We called these convenience locations, and we knew players weren't comparison shopping. They were sitting at whatever was available. So we installed low payback versions because we could get away with it. The loosest machines are placed at what we call crossroads, strategic intersections where wins can be seen and heard by maximum numbers of people, near the center of the main slot floor, at the entrance to the high-limit room, along pathways between the poker room and the sportsbook. When someone hits a jackpot at a crossroads machine, dozens or hundreds of people witness it. They hear the music. They see the celebration. They see someone winning, and that drives them to play. We weren't being generous. We were advertising. I remember a specific meeting where our slot director analyzed player density data and decided to move 3 of our highest-paying Wheel of Fortune machines to more visible crossroads locations. Within 2 weeks, overall slot revenue in that section increased 18% because more players were drawn to the area by the visible wins. The 3 loose machines became loss leaders that drove traffic to 50 tighter machines surrounding them. Another tactic: when a machine in a premium location started paying out significantly more than programmed, maybe a Dragon Link that hit 3 grand jackpots in 4 days, we'd flag it and physically relocate it during overnight hours to a lower traffic area. Same machine, same RTP, but now hidden near the back restrooms where fewer players would find it. One advantage player I knew tracked machine locations obsessively. When he noticed a hot machine had been moved, he'd hunt it down in its new location. I watched him make over $2,000 one month simply by paying attention to floor changes and understanding they signaled performance, not random decisions. So here's your strategy. Avoid convenience locations completely. Scout the entire floor. Look for machines at major intersections, in secondary, quieter areas, and near but not inside the high-limit room. The best machine on the floor might be hiding in plain sight, because that's exactly where we put it. Secret number 4. Pay tables vary on the same game, and most players never check them before they play. Even within the same version of a slot game, there can be different pay table configurations, and you can check this before you insert a single dollar. Let's use Buffalo as an example. There are multiple variants: Buffalo Gold, Buffalo Grand, Buffalo Stampede. And within those variants, different pay table settings. One configuration might pay 25 credits for 4 Buffalo symbols. Another might pay 20 credits. Same game name, same visuals, different actual payouts. Another example, Wheel of Fortune machines. Some versions award multipliers up to 10x during the wheel bonus. Other versions cap at 20x or higher. If you're chasing bonus features, you want the version with the higher multiplier cap. How do you check this? Before you insert money, tap the Info button. It's usually a small icon at the bottom of the screen labeled Help, Info, or marked with a question mark. Browse through the pay table screens. Look at what the premium symbols pay. Look at how bonus features trigger and what they award. Then walk to another machine with the same name and check its pay table. Are they identical? Or are there differences? As a supervisor, I constantly watched players jam money into machines without ever glancing at the pay table. 5 minutes later, they'd complain that their wins felt smaller than usual. Different machine, different configuration, same mistake. Let me tell you about 2 identical-looking Lightning Link machines we had side by side. Both had the same cabinet, same sounds, same name. But one was configured with a pay table that awarded 50 credits for 5 lightning symbols, while the other awarded 40 credits for the same combination. That's a 20% difference in top-line payout. I watched a player spend 2 hours on the 40-credit version, constantly frustrated that his wins seemed smaller than he remembered. 15 feet away, the 50-credit version sat empty most of the night. He never checked. He never knew. Secret number 5. Near misses are programmed to keep you playing, and their psychological manipulation dressed up as randomness. Near misses are when jackpot symbols land just above or below the pay line, or when bonus symbols appear on 2 out of 3 reels, but not the third. These almost wins that aren't wins at all. Here's what you need to understand. Near misses are deliberately programmed into the game. They're not accidents. They're not bad luck. They're engineered psychological tools. Modern slot machines don't use physical reels to determine outcomes. They use a random number generator, an RNG, that selects a result instantaneously. Then the reels spin to display that result. The reels are pure theater. But manufacturers design the reel mapping, the distribution of symbols on each reel, to create near misses at specific frequencies. They place jackpot symbols directly adjacent to payline positions more frequently than pure randomness would produce. Why? Because your brain interprets near misses as evidence that you're getting close to winning. You think, I almost hit it. One more spin. This triggers dopamine release, the same neurotransmitter associated with actual wins. You feel excitement and anticipation even though you just lost money. Gaming regulators investigated this in the 1980s and found near-miss programming so manipulative they nearly banned it. But the casino lobby prevented that. Instead, they just required that near misses couldn't be more frequent than the game's actual mathematics would allow. But manufacturers simply designed real maps where near misses are mathematically common within the rules. It's legal, it's everywhere, and it's costing you money. Here's the truth we were trained never to explain to players. Every spin is completely independent. That near miss means nothing. The machine isn't getting warmer. You're not due for a win. The RNG doesn't know or care what just happened. That jackpot symbol that missed could miss 10,000 more times consecutively. When you see near misses clustering, recognize them as manipulation, not as signals that a payout is coming. Secret number 6. Losses disguised as wins keep you confused about whether you're actually winning or losing. This is one of the most insidious tactics in modern slot design, and it's called LDW, losses disguised as wins. Here's how it works. You bet $1 on a spin. The reels stop, lights flash, music plays, celebration animations fill the screen. Coins sound like they're pouring out. You feel like you won something. You look at your credit meter. You won 60 cents. You just lost 40 cents. But the machine celebrated like you hit a jackpot. Studies have found that modern multi-line slot machines produce LDWs on 30% to 40% of all spins. Nearly half the time you're losing money, while the machine tricks your brain into feeling like you're winning. Why do casinos do this? Because it works. Your brain releases dopamine in response to the celebration signals, not to the actual mathematical outcome. The lights and sounds trigger the same pleasure response as a real win, even though you lost money. This keeps you playing longer. It keeps you confused about your actual win-loss status, and it makes you feel like you're having more success than reality reflects. In supervisor meetings, we reviewed data showing that LDWs increased average session length by 30% to 40%. That translates directly to 30% to 40% more money extracted from each player. This wasn't accidental. This was engineered behavioral manipulation. I watched a player on a Cleopatra machine for nearly 4 hours one Saturday. She celebrated constantly. She was smiling, clapping, clearly having a great time. Other players walking by assumed she was winning big. I had real-time access to her machine data. In 4 hours, she deposited $450. The machine returned $310. She lost $140. But because of constant LDW celebrations, she left genuinely believing she'd had a good session. She told the cashier it had been so much fun. She had no idea she'd just paid $140 for 4 hours of entertainment disguised as winning. The solution requires discipline. Ignore the machine celebration completely. Only track your actual credit balance. Set a timer for every 15 minutes and note your exact credit amount. If you're down, you're losing, regardless of how many times the machine played happy music. Secret number 7. Casino comps are based on your theoretical loss and timed algorithmically to prevent you from leaving when you should. Let me explain how players' club cards actually work, because this is something we were told to deflect questions about. When you insert your card, the system tracks everything: your average bet per spin, your play rate, session duration, total coin-in, amount wagered, and most critically, it calculates your theo, your theoretical loss. Your theo is a mathematical prediction of how much the casino expects you to lose, based on your play pattern and the machine's RTP. If you're betting $2 per spin on a 92% RTP machine, playing 500 spins per hour, the casino calculates you're theoretically losing $80 per hour. Comps are calculated as a percentage of your theo, usually 20% to 40%. Not based on your actual losses, not based on generosity, based on expected losses. But here's the manipulation. The system tracks behavioral indicators that suggest you're about to leave. Play rate slowing, bet sizes decreasing, longer pauses between spins. When these indicators trigger, the system automatically generates comp offers timed to keep you playing. You've been playing for 90 minutes. You're down $120. You're tired and thinking about leaving. Suddenly, a slot attendant appears with a buffet voucher, or your card reader displays an offer for $50 in free play. This isn't coincidence. This is algorithmic retention. The system predicted you were about to quit and triggered an intervention. And here's the calculation. The casino determined that giving you a $25 comp will keep you playing long enough to lose another $150. That's a 500% return on their comp investment. In executive meetings, we analyzed comp effectiveness metrics. Free play was most effective because it forced you to stay at machines. Room comps were second because they kept you on property overnight for more gambling sessions. Let me tell you about a player named Gary. Gary played dollar slots regularly. One Thursday evening, Gary was down about $350 and showing clear signs of frustration. Our system triggered a complimentary dinner for two at our steakhouse, valued at $90. Gary accepted gratefully. He and his wife had dinner, relaxed, and Gary felt the casino was treating him well. After dinner, Gary returned to the floor and played for another hour and 40 minutes. In that time, Gary lost an additional $480. The casino spent $90 in food cost and extracted $480 in additional losses. Gary left thinking the casino had been generous. We knew we'd executed perfect player retention. When you receive a comp, that's your signal to cash out and leave, not to keep playing. Secret number 8. Bankroll management using the 1% rule is the only defense against mathematical inevitability. Most players enter casinos with no financial strategy. They play until the money is gone, or until they hit something big. This is perfect for the casino and devastating for the player. If you're going to play, follow this rule religiously. Never wager more than 1% of your total bankroll on a single spin. If you bring $500, your maximum bet per spin is $5. Not 7, not 10, 5. This rule protects you from variance, the statistical fluctuations inherent in gambling. Slots are volatile. You can easily experience 40 to 50 losing spins consecutively. If you're betting 5% of your bankroll per spin, a bad run destroys you instantly. But at 1%, you have 100 spins of buffer before you'd theoretically zero out. You must also establish two non-negotiable limits, a loss limit and a win limit. Your loss limit is the maximum you'll lose in a session. Maybe it's 30% of your bankroll. When you hit that limit, you leave immediately. No one more spin. No, I'll win it back. You walk away. Your win limit is equally critical. If you decide that doubling your bankroll triggers exit, then when you double up, you leave immediately. Most players fail at the win limit. They win, feel euphoric, and think, I'm hot, I'll keep going. Then they return everything to the casino. Let me tell you about Angela. Angela came in with $300 and set clear limits. She'd leave if she lost $100 or won $150. Smart plan. Angela started on Buffalo Gold. Within 45 minutes, she was up $170. She'd exceeded her win limit, but instead of cashing out, she thought, the machine is paying. I should keep playing. 90 minutes later, Angela had lost her entire $300 plus another $200 from the ATM, all because she didn't enforce her own limit. I watched this pattern thousands of times on surveillance. The limit isn't the problem. The lack of discipline to enforce it is everything. Secret number 9. The scouting method that separates smart players from everyone else. This is the tactical approach I used personally and taught to friends when they asked for advice. Step 1. Walk the floor for 5 to 10 minutes before you play. Don't pull out your wallet. Just observe. Look for machines showing activity. Not necessarily jackpots, but consistent small to medium hits. Step 2. Watch other players for 2 to 3 minutes. If someone's been feeding a machine for 10 minutes with nothing to show and walks away frustrated, that's information. While slots have no memory and every spin is independent, observation tells you current machine behavior. Step 3. If you just watched someone hit a massive bonus over $500, skip that machine for now. While technically every spin is random, machines that just paid big often go quiet for extended periods. Step 4. Start with a test session. Play $20 to $40 as a test. If the machine gives you steady small wins within that amount, you might have found a good one. If it consumes your test money in under 10 spins with 0 returns, move quickly. This approach transforms gambling from blind hope into informed risk management. You're not guessing. You're making calculated, low-risk assessments based on observable behavior. Let's recap the 9 secrets that let you spot machines that pay big. 1. Identical machines have different RTP settings. Same name doesn't mean same mathematics. Pay attention to location and test before committing. 2. Higher denominations equal higher RTP. Quarters to dollars offer dramatically better mathematics than pennies if your bankroll supports it. 3. Machine location is strategic warfare. Avoid convenience locations. Seek out crossroads and secondary quieter areas. 4. Pay tables vary on the same game. Always tap the info button and check the pay table before inserting money. 5. Near misses are programmed psychological manipulation. They don't mean you're close to winning. Every spin is independent. 6. Losses disguised as wins keep you confused. Ignore celebrations. Track only your actual credit balance. 7. Comps are timed to trap you. When you receive a comp offer, that's your signal to cash out, not to keep playing. 8. Bankroll management using the 1% rule protects you from variance. Set loss and win limits. Enforce them without exception. 9. The scouting method gives you maximum information before you risk maximum money. Walk, observe, test, then commit. Here's the ultimate truth. The house always has a mathematical edge. You cannot beat slots long-term. But within that edge, there are dramatically smarter ways to play. These 9 secrets don't guarantee you'll win. Nothing can. But they give you the absolute best possible chance of identifying favorable opportunities and avoiding the worst machines on the floor. Knowledge is your only real advantage in a casino. The casino profits from information asymmetry. They know everything about their machines. You know nothing. These 9 secrets balance that equation slightly in your favor. If you found this valuable, I need you to do 3 things right now. First, subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'm continuing to expose casino industry secrets they don't want public. Second, share this video. Send it to anyone you know who plays slots. The more players who understand these secrets, the less effective the manipulation becomes. Third, watch this video right here where I reveal the 5 specific slot machines that have design flaws favoring players, and casinos wish they could remove them from the floor. Before you leave, the mandatory legal disclaimer. If you or someone you know struggles with gambling addiction, please seek help immediately. Contact the National Council on Problem Gambling at 1-800-522-4700, available 24 hours daily. This video is educational. I'm not encouraging gambling. I'm educating those who already gamble about how to play more intelligently with full awareness of what they're up against. Slots are entertainment, not income. The house always wins long-term. But short-term, with knowledge and discipline, you can maximize your chances and minimize your losses. The 9 secrets are yours. Use them wisely. Scout before you play. Check denominations and pay tables. Avoid manipulative locations and psychological tricks. Set limits and enforce them. The casino is built to win, but now you're armed with information they'd prefer you didn't have. Play smart, stay disciplined, and remember, knowledge is your only edge.